Hello and welcome to this second video. In this video, I will tell you about the graphical interface of the designer, where you can draw your projects in a WYSIWYG mode. Here is the main screen. The main menu. On the right, the space dedicated to the manipulation of objects, the object toolbar, and the tabs corresponding to the layers. In an empty project, only one layer exists, the main page 1. Objects are inserted by simply drag and drop from the schema tree view. We can of course select several objects at a time. As a professional, these are methods that you know well. This is just a quick presentation. We can align them up, down, right, left. Give them the same height or the same width. To create an object, simply click on the corresponding button and draw it on the screen. Right-clicking opens a context menu, where you can specify some properties of the object or execute an action. Here, we will send it in the background. The color toolbar is used to change its color. At the bottom of the screen, the property panel adapts to the type of object selected and allows the modification of some other details. In the case of a rectangle, rounded corners, transparency, the line thickness, etc. Here, the ability to group and ungroup a set of objects and lock or unlock them. A mouse double-click opens the Properties window of the selected object. Here we see that the object has been defined as an integer-type variable with a numeric format. There are several ways to evaluate an object. Here, the content of the object is a simple expression, customer cust num, that comes from the previous drag and drop. If we run this project, each customer record generates a new page with a different customer number. Now, let's change the expression by adding a label in front of the customer cust num. The result of this expression is a character string. If we do not change the type of the object, the designer will adapt, but the format will not be used at runtime. Any level of complexity is allowed in the expression. That's what all other software do. But, even with Excel, you know that the stacking of functions that we get to quickly becomes incomprehensible and not maintainable. This is why we have created additional methods to simplify the coding of these expressions. In addition, you can use much finer functions in an easier and more readable way. Let's quickly see the other methods. The text mode, where you can specify a fixed text. The expression mode, which we have already seen before, for non-procedural expressions. The if, then, else mode. But if that's not enough, try the expert mode. A complete programming space will then be assigned to the object, a space where you can define your own local variables or functions, and a procedure in Pascal format. Some remarks on the expert coding. The return value, the result, must be returned in the variable called value. This return field is a variant type, which means that it can contain character strings, as well as numeric values, or dates, for example. You will find a quick start to the Pascal language elements in the video devoted to programming. Just be aware that almost all of this language can be used to define the content of an object. It's good to know. In the workspace, a double click on the page opens the Properties window. Again, multiple settings are available, like orientation, background, printer tray, page before or after. Very extensive programming possibilities are available to determine the visibility and the procedures to be performed before and after processing the page. If you want to know what it could be used for, and to illustrate the interest of such procedures, we can think of the insertion of particular sequences, as for example the insertion of a vpxPrint page bookmark, or even conditioning the use of a specific background, or such before-after layer depending on the context, dynamically. Everything is really possible. Let's save this project. Here is a quick overview of the layers. The creation of a background. This creation is immediately displayed in the Layers panel, and a new tab has been created in the workspace. You can select a layer by clicking on a tab, or on the corresponding line, in the panel on the right. Let's insert an image. Then go back to the main page. And indicate that the main page will use the background number 1. Since it is not easy to draw pages without viewing the background or other layers at the same time, you can display multiple layers simultaneously by selecting them as visible or editable. The Layers panel also allows to modify the order of pages, to delete them or to change their orientation. Thank you for watching. In the next tutorial, we will see the array object, its use, and how to program it.